If you come to Singapore, you have to try chicken rice.
I'm really excited to have your laksa.
Yeah,
This is going to be the most expensive chicken rice dish.
It's still in a very experimental style.
Here I am in Singapore where everything is hot. The weather is hot, the food is hot. It's going to be just like my kitchen in Hong Kong. I'm going to be very comfortable here. And talk about hot, my friend and guide in Singapore is going to be Joanne Pei, a very popular actress in town. And I'm expecting any moment now, her in her limousine.
Hi, Alvin.
Joanne, how are you?
Good, good. Welcome to Singapore.
No, it's a pleasure to be here. And Joanne, my guy, you know, she was great. And I think the funniest situation was she picked me up in a duck, something I usually cook.
Oh!
Opening an eatery in Singapore is tough business. The competition is cutthroat, and the population is always on the lookout for the next big thing. Chefs who create new dishes, like coffee pork ribs or chili crab, can become overnight sensations.
You have a tremendous variety of culture here. So this creates a lot of exciting dishes. It's almost like these dishes are innovative already.
Okay.
And I would say, you know, Singaporean food is almost like deconstructed food. So what you do is you take apart something and then you rebuild it. You put it back together again. When you're a child, right, and your mother is trying to get you to eat something that maybe as a child you don't like to eat. So she's trying to get you to eat it, maybe by presenting it differently. They'll cut things into little soldiers, or they'll make things into bunnies or something like that. I'm doing the same with food.
Here we are at Ya Kun Kaya Toast, and this place is famous for its charcoal grilled bread toast. I heard that the recipe actually dates back to 1920s. I mean, way before I was born, and I'm sure way before you were born too.
Well, not quite. So let's order.
请问你们要喝什么？
你给我 kopi o kosong 还有得西修带。
好套餐吗？
好套餐，鸡蛋还有面包。
Okay, take it.
谢谢。
So what did you order for us?
Well, I ordered kopi o kosong, means coffee black with no sugar and no milk. And for my order, it's desi siu dai, which is tea with evaporated milk and less sugar. So this is soft-boiled eggs. So I usually have it with a little bit of dark soy sauce. Ah, that's too much, but it's okay. And then some pepper. And actually, when I look at eggs like that, I get a bit freaked out, like, because it's, you know, lumpy, so I'll like break it up. Oh, you don't mix it up?
No, I like this. I like a bit lump. I like to taste the yolks and the whites separately.
That's true, okay. Yeah.
At first, I didn't really like it. You know, I wasn't used to it. You know, this is not my culture. I wasn't born eating this toast. I found it somewhat dried until she told me how to properly eat it. Dip it in the egg with the soy sauce and the white pepper. And then it was completely different. You know, it was really strange to have the crispy toast, the wet egg, the salty, the sweet, the butter, all combined together. It was really good. I hope this jam is not dated from the 1920s.
Actually, you know, this kaya was brought here by the Hainanese because they used to work on the British ships, and then when they came to Malaya, they actually started to make their own jams.
The thing about the toast was invented in the 20s by Chinese working in the English boats, how they had jam and toast, and then they created kaya. And these are pioneers of innovation. When they changed it, it probably suited them better. Here's some example of deconstruction where the deconstructed dish was probably better than the original dish. So after that breakfast, where are we going?
Well, after something sweet, I'm gonna take you to have a savory lunch. And it is what I would refer to as the Singapore version of fast food.
With the Mandarin. So this is not going to be an ordinary fast food.
No, it's not. It's Hainanese chicken rice.
Oh, great. I heard this is a national dish of Singapore.
Yes, if you come to Singapore, you have to try chicken rice. And the thing is that don't be misled by the term Hainanese chicken rice. It doesn't really come from Hainan.
It doesn't. So it's a deconstructed version.
Yes.
Good. Joanne went on and on saying, this is the most expensive chicken rice in Singapore. Oh, obviously, it's at the Mandarin, Chatterbox. It's in a 5-star hotel.
Alvin, meet your good twin, the angel chef, Chef Liu.
Hello,
This is Alvin.
And you tell me,
Yes.
you know, I've been told you have the most expensive chicken rice in Singapore.
Of course.
How much is
Okay, we are selling on the week $25.
it? Wow, you're almost 8 times the price
And
if
one
I
more,
do my
and one more
arithmetic.
thing, our cooking method is much more special than ours.
We met Chef Lau. He took me into his kitchen and showed me how he did the rice, how he did the chicken. And the rice is a special aged rice from Thailand. It's a very simple dish, to be quite honest. It's just chicken, herbs, and rice. So how do you make a simple dish into a luxury dish? Because of how much preciseness, how much time was put into it to make it.
I'm so curious what you're gonna make it into.
Please do not. It's going to be a secret. I'm not a connoisseur in Hainanese chicken rice. So you have all these condiments. So can you tell me, when you eat this,
Yes.
do you put all the condiments together or one at a time? Or how does this work?
You can put it with the ginger,
Uh-huh.
and the next one you can put it with the chili and the dark sauce.
The chef went on to say the detail placed on the sauce, the chili, the ginger, the black soy sauce, all that, very important. All that fits into that dish.
Oh, I'm trying the rice and I realize that it doesn't stick together.
Yes.
When I had the first mouthful of the chicken rice, each rice was coated with flavor. Each individual rice was like an M&M, you know. Each individual had their own flavor, you know, had their own texture, and it was just perfect. It was definitely, I can't say the best chicken rice in Singapore, but I can say it's the best chicken rice I ever had.
This is Katong, one of Singapore's suburbs and traditional home to one of the country's most distinctive cultures. Hundreds of years ago, Chinese immigrants married Malay locals, resulting in a fusion of cultures called Peranakan. The union was a happy one for food as well, as Chinese ingredients mingled with Malay spices to create some of the country's best-loved dishes.
You know what? I promised that I was gonna introduce a beauty queen to you, and she owns a famous eatery in Singapore.
2 beauty queens in one day. This is my lucky day. Next, we went from chicken rice to a luxurious hotel, and we went back on the street again. And we went to Katong Laksa.
老板娘，为什么你这间店叫328嘎东拉萨？
说这个广东话，这个328是代表生意饭，就是商议饭。
I'm sure you have good business here. I'm really excited to have your laksa.
This is a must-have with the laksa. It's very much part of the dish. And do you like it spicy?
Yes, I like it.
Just a little bit?
No, I'll give myself a little bit less because I think you're spicier than me.
Thank you. This chili takes a lot of time to prepare, and what Peranakans usually do is they mix a lot of spices and they have this stone
Grind,
thing and grind, and then they will like pound all the spices together to make the paste. But because she needs to make this in large quantity, she uses a machine.
We do that in our kitchen too, don't worry.
Well, there's a lot of ingredients in it, so would you like to try to see what is in the chili?
So you're gonna make me guess.
Yes, I'm gonna make you guess.
I have to earn this. Let me see. Well, definitely it's hot. So lots of chili. I can taste, you know, this probably dry seafood. I would say shrimp, but just a hint of it. So I would say blue ginger and a bit of also, I would say turmeric. Turmeric. Finally, a hint of this lemon, and I would say probably lemongrass because it's not, because it's not strong enough to be lemon. So I'm gonna take my first bite of laksa. This is like a virgin. I never really had proper laksa before, and this was a virgin experience for me. So when I first put a spoonful of this laksa in my mouth, I was actually astounded. I taste, you know, you got a mix of flavors and textures. Of course, you got the the chilies, you got all the herbs, all the spices, and chili sauce. But again, you have the coconut, which balances it. It just goes perfectly with the coconut milk. And it's like a melody of textures in your mouth. So, I really, really enjoy this. Well, I'm gonna have a lot of fun deconstructing this, but do you mind if I go inside your kitchen? Because I wanted to see if there's any special technique and see if I can pick up a little something.
Aye.
I saw, how she, instead of, throwing everything in boiling liquid, she took the hot liquid and poured it all over and over and over again, just to make sure it's not overcooked. And that's like modern cuisine. This is like sous vide. You cook it differently. You don't have to throw everything into the fire. You can put the fire over it. And what you get is the perfect texture. All this done by a relatively modern and different method. This is done just perfectly.
If you think this is hard, well, it's just a little teaser. Alvin, I brought you here, and this place is called No Signboard Seafood. Are you wondering why it's called No Signboard?
This must be a trick question you're telling me.
There's a history behind this. When they first started out as a hawker stall in 1970s, because of financial constraints, they couldn't afford a signboard. So they just decided not to have it and let the food do the talking.
That was my favorite moment, meeting Mr. Chu. I mean, he's such a character. And the first thing I noticed, he's got this one gold teeth. He has a presence of a wise man. And whatever he says, I must listen to.
This is steamed mantou, and then this is deep fried, and then you peel it, and then you dip it in the sauce. In the sauce like that.
We do this in Hong Kong as well, but instead of sauce, we have sometimes condensed milk. But I'm sure this will taste much better. Surprisingly, not really hot as in let's hot cover everything. This is just perfect in that you still get the taste of the crab and the chili. And slightly sweet to take away from the heat. And that is definitely something good. I think I understand. So it moves a lot, therefore it must be very tender.
And it's very sweet. He said it's very sweet. Well, so is there anything you need to find out from Mr. Chu to help you with your dish?
Of course, I would love to go into his kitchen. Smelling the ingredients, tasting it, make sure the top ingredients go into his dishes. One of the things he said to me, and something that will always remain in my mind, is he said, the secret of my success is feeding the customer. You must feed the people. You must feed your audience. And this is a vital DNA to a successful restaurant. The heat actually helped you, maybe I would say cut the richness of it and want you to eat more and more of it. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. And I think my philosophy is very similar. I place a lot of attention to taste as well as the visual, the smell, and the smokes and the mirror. At the end of the day, the food must taste good.
It's now time for Alvin to feed the people who have fed him. He has just 6 hours to cook his versions of the dishes he's tasted. Singaporeans love new dishes. And new is what Alvin does best.
I'm gonna make my version of the kaya jam for this dish. I'm gonna imitate the same taste of the chicken. I'm gonna take some mayonnaise. So I'm just going to squeeze that ginger. The flavor of the stock where the chicken is being poached, okay? So there's no chicken in there yet, but I'm gonna add the chicken in later.
Joanne gets assigned to intern work, cutting the crusts off bread, while Alvin prepares some special oil.
Heat the chicken fat first. Let's put all the aromatic into the oil. This is really more smell and taste as well. Where are the glasses? I need it now.
And of course, every dish needs some over-the-top Baroque indulgence.
Give me a gold plate, please. Where's Shah? Give me a gold plate. I'm going to combine savory and sweet.
Okay.
This is going to be the most expensive chicken rice dish. This is gold. So this is going to be a 24-karat dish. Instead of dark sauce, I'm going to put in caviar. This is my more than $25 Singaporean brunch.
It was totally not what I expected because I never thought he was going to merge kaya toast with chicken rice and turn it into a brunch. A good balance, I like it.
Wrap this and put it in the fridge, please.
Alvin must be on his best behaviour for Joanne because he's usually screaming by now.
And do not break that, okay? I'm gonna do the laksa. This is a molecular process we do, and we're just making a jelly noodles. This is the sambar of her secret laksa chili. This is dry Chinese shrimp. You know, it's a 48-hour process. It's very, very fragrant, but it's not as pungent. One of the most important parts was the lasa leaf, actually. I took some lasa leaf and I just fried it lightly in oil to get it nice and crispy.
For me, the laksa really worked because I think it was the way I ate it as well, because I picked up the noodle and I put the whole thing with the leaf, you know, and I put it in my mouth, and it was a whole burst of flavor, and I really liked it very much because it was beyond my imagination.
Do not throw that away. Do not throw that away. Where's the pineapple juice? Look, you're watching too many Tom and Jerry's.
That's why they call him the demon.
Now it's time to do the drinks. If you go to a high-end bar in Singapore and ask for a good cocktail, you'll probably be served a Singapore sling. And if you go to a low-end coffee shop and order a takeaway coffee, you drink it out of a plastic bag. Mash those things together? Why not?
For a party tonight, you're going to be making the cocktails.
What cocktail are we having?
Well, what's the most famous cocktail in Singapore?
Singapore sling.
You know how to make a Singapore sling, okay? So we're going to start off with some ice. I always put in the alcohol. So you want a nice shot of gin. Next, a dash of cherry brandy, okay? So you have now the geranium syrup. You're going to put in a couple of ounces of pineapple juice into the shaker. We do a bit of cha-cha with salsa, whatever, okay? Where's the straws? All right, do you think you can do that?
Yes, I do. Are you going to watch over me while I'm doing this?
It's going to be the Singapore swing.
There's barely an hour left for Alvin to cook his final dish.
This is chili crab at a fine dining fancy restaurant.
Okay.
I took the crab, all the shell has been removed, and Mr. Chu said the best part, you know, was the legs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my own secret recipe. This is basically a sabayon, egg yolk beaten with all the crab stock. So you get this nice sabayon. Now in this, I've added my secret weapon. So what I added was, this is the roll, okay, from the female. This is going to be my secret ingredients. I'm going to add to this
sweet chili sauce?
Yes. And then there was soy sauce. So we mix that nicely. We want to be very gentle, okay, on this.
Yes,
okay?
treat it like a lady.
Treat it like a lady. So I'm going to put in a little bit of the swimmers. I'm going to put this in here, okay? So this is almost like the sauce, you know, with the egg. I'm going to put this in the oven for about 8 minutes.
Hi, welcome, welcome. Hi.
With Alvin still busy, the guests start arriving.
Alvin's version of the Singapore sling.
The guests tonight are Chef LIίου from Chatterbox, Mr. Chu from No Signboard, Lucy from Katong Laksa, and noted food blogger Lady Iron Chef, who isn't a lady, isn't iron, and isn't a chef. But if the food is bad, his 7,000 daily hits blog is going to spread the word fast.
Mr. Chu! LIლიU招牌.
Welcome.
The first dish?
Or chicken rice kaya toast. It's two dishes put together. I'm trying to imitate the grilling of the toast. This is a chicken kaya. So I need to make this a little bit more than $25. What happened to the gold? It was on a piece of paper. Okay, never mind, all right?
饭来讲，还是传统的鸡饭，还是在那一边。就是今天你可以做到超出我的想象力。不错。
Thank you, thank you. The next dish is Lucy's dish, her famous gâteau lasa. The noodles, had to be of a hard but not soggy consistency. Yes. One half of it made with coconut milk, and the other half made with all the herbs and the spices. One of these noodles take almost 5 to 10 minutes to make. Yeah, seriously. I don't think this will cost more than Lucy's, okay? So I want Lucy's philosophy. All the flavors, all the texture in one mouthful.
它这个虾米多一点的话会比较香一点哦。so far 它的那个叶子已经炸过了，比较没有这么浓。
比较没有这么浓。
那个浓，它叶子没有这么浓，没有那个拉萨的味道那么浓。
So one side is spicy and one side only pure coconut. Yeah. So if that side spice, you can put some more flavor, a bit of flavor. That look more better.
Everybody wants more coconut. Yeah. Okay. Be careful, it's very hot. So I call this, Mrs. Chu's chili crab.
谢谢你。
So, how do you like the taste? How do you like the texture?
不错，很好。
Thank you.
很好。
很好。
Good, thank you. It's great to hear this from the master.
I think it would be perfect if you have mantou with it, because I think mantou is a very symbolic sidekick of the chili crabs. So you have it along, it will be perfect.
Thank you very much for all of you to come here.
What I do notice is that he keeps apologizing or he justifies why he barks and yells in the kitchen. But I find that that's part of his charm. And that's what makes him attractive, because here is a man who knows exactly what he wants, and he wants to get things done the proper way because his name is at stake here. And I can totally relate to that, and I can understand that. So I find that something very cute, in fact.
I don't expect praises, because praises will not improve you. Praises will inspire you, but I like to hear the criticism, because it's criticism that will improve you.